You know, wow, right? We're almost towards the end. We almost are making it to the promised land, to Mount Doom, to throw the ring into the fire. Anyway, I'm here with John Miller. He is with the Amateur Astronomers Club or Association? Association of Princeton. All right, and he will be telling us. Well, tell us about your club. Association. Sorry.
Thank you. Love to appreciate being here.
And thank you.
Too bad it's cloudy tonight.
Oh.
But we brought some visual aids that will excite the viewers, I hope.
It'll excite me, I'll tell you that much.
The Amateur Astronomers Association of Princeton has been in the Princeton community for well over 45 years. I've been associated with the club twice. I went into the club, joined first as a youngster in junior high school.
Oh, wow.
And then came back as an oldster in 1999. And I've been assistant director or director for 7 consecutive years. Time to pass that crown on to someone new. Would you like it?
If I knew more about astronomy, I'm an admirer, I love it, but when you started getting into details about mathematics and all those things, my head just starts getting fuzzy. I'm more about concepts than actual analytical anything. So.
One of the great things about clubs like this is you don't need to know anything about mathematics. We have members that range from first stepping out of their backyard with just their eyes, looking up, knowing nothing about astronomy except having a curiosity about space and astronomy, all the way through to astrophysicists and everything in between. So organizations like ours are designed, amateur astronomers organizations are designed to help people learn and for experienced people to actually get involved in the colloquia, the seminar environment. And also a big part of what we do in the Princeton community is to get the community involved. We have an observatory at Washington Crossing State Park, which is just north of or south of Pennington. And it's been there since 1974. And all summer, every Friday night, we open for the public. And it's really cool because parents bring their kids, and the kids absolutely love learning about
it's a mystery.
The universe.
So yeah.
And are you outside of being, I guess, in this association, are you a scientist? Are you an astrophysicist?
No.
Are you any scientist?
No, it's purely a hobby. My background, I was a graduate at Rutgers, and my scientific background is an English major.
Oh, wow.
But I minored in physics and always had a love of science. And you'll find that in organizations like our own. You'll have astrophysicists, and one of our members is the very famous Freeman Dyson.
Okay.
Really? Oh, he shows up?
Oh, yeah, and he gives lectures, and he's a great supporter of amateur astronomers, and we love him dearly for it.
Can you mention Freeman Dyson as people who don't know him? Like, I actually don't know who he is.
Freeman Dyson is one of the from my perspective, one of the renowned physicists of the 20th century.
Wow.
Google him, and he's a fascinating individual. Is retired over at the Institute for Advanced Study, where Einstein and many others.
He was just on the cover of the New York Times magazine a couple of Sundays ago.
Yes,
oh, wow.
yeah.
Big article. He's still solving problems, thinking.
Yes, very much so. He is an absolute delight, a delightful human being, and we're so proud to have him as one of our 120 members.
They say he's Einsteinian in his levels of thinking and,
Yes.
and looking at problems. And
Yes.
Amazing.
But not pedantic at all.
Right.
Most approachable.
Very
which is
British.
Very British. Yes, yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting. I do share that common link. My major, I recently graduated from Rutgers as well, fellow alum. Actually, all three of us are fellow alum, right?
Yes.
So, cool.
You're
Go
here.
Rutgers in
Oh, are
Princeton.
you?
Dominate. Anyway.
You still wear the ring of
Yeah,
power.
I noticed the ring. I didn't get one, but no. I did political science. I wanted to minor in physics at one point, but the course load was just a little too much. But my interest for the stars, I love planetariums. The kid just loved them, and I don't know. Every kid, just looks at the stars and just feels overwhelmed by its awe. And I think sometimes people lose that as they get older.
It's true. We find that we go through phases. You begin as a youngster fascinated with, at least in my case, dinosaurs and astronomy. And I grew into astronomy quite a while, and then I phased out of it and then came back into it big time. We have some visual aids here.
Yeah,
that,
I mean, let's so
yeah,
show
the
this
first one
to
here.
our
the
viewers.
first one is the most exciting, at least in from
Oh, I love this
my
picture.
perspective. Let's turn this over.
Very
Will the camera
beautiful.
see this without glare?
Yeah,
No,
it's seen it
it's
now.
not bad. It's not bad at all. It's beautiful.
It's a photograph done by an amateur astronomer. He's located
Wow.
up outside of
You
Hartford,
did this
Connecticut.
photograph. Huh.
He did this photograph. It's a photo of M31, more commonly known as the Andromeda Galaxy.
And that's the nearest. Is that the nearest galaxy to us?
It's the nearest spiral
Spiral
galaxy
galaxy to
to
us.
us, correct. It's about 2.5 million light years away, right next door as far as galaxies are
But
concerned.
it's good. But I think but also I think I mean, you know this, but scientists are very interested in this because it's so similar to our own galaxy, and it's hard to look at a galaxy when you're within it, but when you try to observe
You
another
have
one,
to join our club.
that's-
You've got to join. Yes, it's somewhat similar to our galaxy, and it's a great model that has been studied for, well, as long as we knew it was a galaxy. And even before that, when this can be seen with the naked eye, even in light-saturated New Jersey. On a very dark night, when you're in an area far away from city lights, when you know where to look, you can see this galaxy. And this galaxy is, with the naked eye, it's 3 full moons across. It's pretty big,
wow.
naked eye. Again, the viewers might just see a disk, but it's made up of about
So maybe we can put it down for now. Do you want to put it down? Because I feel
about-
bad. You're like talking about you
about
are the voice of the
200
galaxy.
About 200 billion stars. This powder are stars like, and this is the other, like the sun.
Our sun.
So just take our sun and multiply that by about 200 billion of them, a number I can't fathom.
No.
And you've got yourself a galaxy. And galaxies come in all sorts of different. And we have, when we're out at Washington Crossing State Park, you don't need a telescope to see this. As a matter of fact, we're asked that a lot by the community, by the public. I want to buy a telescope. We suggest not to. Don't.
Why?
Because a lot of people already have 2 at home.
Oh, they don't even realize it. Oh,
Binoculars.
this.
But that's pretty impressive pair of binoculars right there.
Well, they're standard binoculars. A lot of people, bird watchers, boaters will have these, and these are perfect to begin astronomy with. You have 2 telescopes, a nice wide field, and this galaxy looks better in these in a dark sky than it does in a telescope.
Wow.
Really?
Wonder why?
Why?
Yes, and why? So why are we selling telescopes to people?
In many instances, we shouldn't, because people think they need a telescope
Right,
to
right.
enjoy astronomy. They don't. They don't. They need these, and then step up to these. The reason this is the Andromeda Galaxy isn't so good in a telescope is it's so large, you're only seeing a small part
with
of
the telescope, okay.
fuzziness in a telescope. With these, you have a larger angle of sky, and you can see the entire galaxy.
No, I mean I've seen nebulae before, and because Rutgers itself has a little observatory, they open up and
They do.
Yeah, on Thursday nights, and sometimes I'd go to that, and I thought it was great. I mean, to me it was amazing because actually my favorite structures in the universe are nebulae because they're just so breathtakingly beautiful.
They are gorgeous.
And the remnants of supernovas. So it's just just the idea of that is just amazing. But I saw it, so it looked like a colorful smear. And I'm thinking to anybody it might look like, like a
Remember-
translucent booger, but to me it was amazing. I just thought it was beautiful. And I was wondering, but in the telescope, does this come across sort of a smear, or does it really sort of look like a mini version of this, or a little collection of stars?
A fuzzy. Yeah, a fuzzy. Part of that is because in New Jersey, at least, we have so much light pollution from Philadelphia and New York and Trenton and northern New Jersey that it washes out a lot of the sky. However, most people just go out in your backyard on a clear night and look up. Most people never look up. We get people coming to the observatory on cloudy days because they never do this when they're leaving their house on a Friday
Right,
afternoon.
right. They don't observe what's just around them.
Again, binoculars for a lot of nebula, like the Orion Nebula, it looks beautiful in binoculars. whereas it also looks fantastic in a telescope as well.
So how did someone take a picture of this? I mean, that's a. It's
And he
that's
said
a
an
whole
amateur
technique.
did it in Hartford from his driveway.
An amateur astronomer named Rob Gendler took this photograph. This is actually about 48 stitched individual photos. He's a very advanced astrophotographer, but he's an amateur, and it was in his driveway outside of Hartford.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So when you guys meet, though, what kind of, do you have competitions? Do you kind of strive to find different things and everything?
We do. Astrophotography has gotten very advanced in the amateur level, very advanced, as you can plainly see. So that is a fast-growing area, and amateur astronomers compete with each other online. They'll post these beautiful images online and compare with each other on blogs and websites. Visually, no, there's something called a Messier marathon. Messier was a Frenchman in the 1700s. He was looking for comets. He ran across stuff like this, fuzzies, and he said, well, I know that's not a comet, so I'm going to write it down so I don't mistake it later on. And he turned out to make, he made a list of some of the finest objects we can see in the sky today, so we call them Messier objects. So we'll have a competition, like in an evening, how many people can find X number of Messier objects, brighter nebula, galaxies, planetary nebula that are remnants of supernovae, that sort of thing. There's a lot to look at.
Once you learn what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And that's important too.
Right.
When someone runs out to buy a telescope and they have really no background in what they're looking at, it's not as exciting as when you see this in a pair of binoculars and you've learned it's got 200 billion stars, that we're, in our galaxy, if somebody in this galaxy is probably looking back at us on one of those, on a planet orbiting one of those stars. And we're asked that a lot by kids.
That was my next question, though. Does this give you like a different feeling about life on other planets?
It helps us understand, from my perspective, it gives me a great insight about life on this planet.
How so? This is too deep for me.
Because as astronomers, as people who love studying the rest of the universe, in a way, you can step back from the Earth and look at it as
Okay,
yet
more
another
part of this
it's
whole thing.
part of a very, very,
Right.
very large whole thing. And see, on the one hand, how completely insignificant we are, and on the other, how critically important we are, because astronomers have been searching diligently for at least half a century for some indication of intelligent life somewhere out in our local neighborhood of our galaxy.
Yeah, okay.
We've seen nothing so far. We've gotten no radio waves. We've seen no indication. We even had to put together a fun experiment at Princeton University. We refurbished an old observatory, and we're hoping to find pulses of laser light. Perhaps a civilization would say, let's try firing out very high intensity, short pulses of laser light that for a very short instant will be brighter than our star.
And it would continue to travel through space and be
Oh,
picked
yeah.
up.
Yeah, and it was called the Optical SETI program.
So someone's picking up our TV shows?
Radio
Yes.
signals, all this stuff.
What was that Jodie Foster movie when that happened?
Shine.
They,
I don't know.
yeah,
Contact.
Yeah, Contact. And Hitler was
Yeah.
like the first ever telegraph thing.
Well, yeah, they if I remember
alien-
the plot, that was part of they picked up part of this tape of
That-
a World War II of Hitler. and
Hitler
they said, "Oh,
talking,
that's-
right.
They're going to see that and think pretty awful things.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well,
But
this,
yeah, every radio
Report.
and TV channel has gone out forever. Now it weakens, it's going to be a pretty weak signal when it gets to another part of.
Charlie's Angels.
Yes, yes. Perhaps another
it
civilization.
makes
is-
you think what they're gonna get, like Baywatch or something, you know?
Well, maybe a highly advanced civilization, 500 or 600 light years away someday, will be analyzing the Family Guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
episode, exactly.
We're being
But-
pushed on.
But you know, I mean, it was great talking to you. I mean, I know,
It's our
you know, I feel like
pleasure.
the world of astronomy, the world of planets, nebulae, and if you want to get into things like later physics, like string theory and all that other stuff, singularities. I mean, that's this. I mean, you can just go on. It's really.
On and on.
I always say, don't do drugs, do astrophysics. You know.
But the nice thing about
But-
that is we're the largest organization for amateur astronomy, one of the largest in the nation. And Princeton's a great place to do astronomy.
Oh, and
because the
Princeton for
university
science,
is such an
absolutely.
epicenter of theoretical cosmology.
So can you just give the a website or a contact information for people who might be interested in joining?
It's perfect. It's www.princetonastronomy.org.
www.princetonastronomy.org. And then the universe is yours.
Yes,
I like that.
that is nice.
Can we use that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
You know, I'll actually look into it as well. That sounds very interesting.
Please
so,
do. We would love to have you on board.
So
Thank you very
thank
much.
you so much.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, lesson. Yes, got it.
Is it, I'm here? Hey everybody, this is the captain. We're back in Studio B for a little while our next musical guest gets set up in Studio A. And I just wanted to make a few acknowledgments. This beautiful set that you see in back of us, that you've been watching all the excellent bands play over the past 30 hours. That was put together by our very talented and resourceful station manager, George McCullough, also Robert Jenkins and Natalia Gali. They worked very hard, and they did an excellent job. And these very, very lovely paintings back here, they were done by Natalia Gali, very talented artist. You can go to Natalia Gali, Natalia I hope I spelled it right. Gali.com. No, wait. Natalia. Natalia.com, and check out all of her artwork. And we've reached we have about 1 hour and 43 minutes to go until we have been on the air for 30 hours. I just wanted to remind everyone why we're doing a 30-hour Megathon as opposed to some other number. Previously, this station was known as TV30. Some of the old-timers still call it TV30. Obviously, we are on Channel 45 on Verizon Fios, and we don't know how long we will be on Channel 30 on Comcast. We like to call ourselves Princeton TV, Princeton Community TV. Sounds a lot catchier. But we decided to pay homage. Is that the right way of saying it? Homage?
Yeah, that's French for cheese.
Yeah. I like cheese. I was eating it all day. To the old-timers, like Bill Turk and Maurice Kahn, all those guys who were here from the start, we wanted to do 30 hours in their honor, and all those folks, and we thank them very much for all they've done, all they did. And Bill and Maurice, if you're out there. Ron Cohen. Well, Ron Cohen is still around. I also want to acknowledge my man who's been here all friggin' day. He's been working the sound. He's been working his butt off. Thankless work. He's been putting up with a lot of these temperamental musicians and their demands and superheroes. I'm always saying, Tom, where's my mic? Where's my mic? Why am I not on? Nyeh. I'm such a big baby. His name is Tom Florek. Mr. Tom Florek, thank you very much.
Thank you.
He has a show, Cafe Improv, and they tape every month, right? Every fourth Saturday from what are the hours? 7 to 10. You can Paul Robeson Center down the street on Witherspoon Street. I think if you go to cafeimprov.com, right? Is that the website? You can sign up, see if there's any available slots.
Next week we have a wonderful show.
Yeah, next week they have a really kickin' show going on. What do you got going on, Thomas?
I think we have O'Neill and Martin.
O'Neill and Martin?
Somebody else. That's already up
You don't have Ween, do you?
No,
I can't believe that you're turning Ween away, and they won't come on my show.
In fact, they offered us money.
Did you hear that, everybody? Ween offered money to Cafe Improv to get on. I asked them to come on, and their manager told me to go to hell. I don't understand what this world is coming to when I get turned down by Ween. We're talking about the guys who did that stupid "Push the Little Daisies and Make 'Em Come Up" song. They turned me down. I gave them a spot on one of the greatest television shows created in the history of mankind, the Princeton TV Megathon, and they turned me down. That's a bunch of crap, okay? So Ween, if you're out there, I better not see your face in Princeton again, okay? Because what's going on? We having problems here?
They got their drum thrown.
Got their drum thrown.
Is this your drum thrown? That's the other band.
Oh, they didn't leave yet, did they? Oh, I hope they didn't. Well, anyway, Mark Miklos is coming up in Studio A in a little while. And we're just waiting for him to get ready. And I'm just going to be chatting with you all here. I've been up for almost 40 hours. It's going to be at the end of this thing, 40 and a half hours. I have to drive home, so don't tell anybody that, because that's, I think, technically against the law. But I'm going to do it anyway because I don't really have any other choice. You know, I got to sleep somewhere. I'm not sleeping in my car. I'm not sleeping in the street. You know, I don't have any other place to crash because I don't really have any friends. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes the captain because he's too temperamental. He's always making demands. I need a softer pillow. I need another blanket. Okay? I need some socks because my feet are cold. What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm the captain. I expect the best from everybody. I perform the best and I expect the best. And I call the shots around here. You got it? The captain, baby. Ow. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Wow. I just been having so much fun on this Megathon this year. It's been really great, a really great experience. It's been a 30-hour party, and I'm just pleased. I wanted to thank all the bands that have come on and all our guests. Everyone was just brilliant and entertaining and fascinating and exciting and vivacious and sexy, including myself. Just been a good time. I've really enjoyed it. All the camera people, all the directors, they've done a really, really great job.